Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with me, Bella Safira. Today I would like to present the material about organizational learning. Can the right hand know what the left hand is doing? We begin, you can see on the second slide. This is the definition. Right hand and left hand mean the functional department in a company. So this process comes when we realize our busyness really don't emphasize effective intra and interdepartmental communication. As we know, functional departments affect each other. When one department make a decision, it will affect the other department. In this case, company needs good communication among them. If we want to create effective people, it means we must have effective communication first. If you ask we can or not let our right hand know what our left hand doing, the answer is maybe can, maybe cannot. Why? Because it depends on us. It can if we create a effective communication among our department, but it cannot if there is lack of coordination, communication, and associated confusion that can exist organization-wide or even on an individual basis. We can see from the example, there are so many lack of coordination. This lack of coordination can create internal damages and cause a company to waste time and money, lose the respect of its staff, and erode its customer base. Why? Primarily because internal communication are not up to par, processes, procedure, and job description are not solidly in place, and because no one consider the negative ramification inherent in an organization that has inferior communication and poor documentation of process and procedure. What is one of the dream of a company to be achieved? Our dream is imagine a world where customer service, procurement, marketing, finance, operation, human resources, and sales can truly help each other and work together instead of stepping on each other's toes and pointing finger. A world where all parts of the organization work together with a shared sense of purpose, no matter how different their cultures, process, and system have been in the past. A world where the roles are clearly defined and where employees are no longer frustrated with their department and the enterprise as a whole, because when they have identified an opportunity or a problem, they know how to address it and create effective long-term solutions that are scalable, executable, and realistic. Never gap, never a hang-up, where customers enjoy a smooth experience throughout their journey with the brand. What must be done to realize that dream? We must to create a strong partnership between the cross-functional heterogeneous team or department. However, to adopt a scale to stay competitive in an era of increasingly accelerated disruption, whether done proactively or reactively, is particularly difficult for organizations that operate in deeply entrenched silos. Hence, most companies need to rethink or retool by redesigning their offering and operation, and ensure that relevant information flows freely between all departments in the company. We move to the next slide. There are practical steps. Through multiple client engagement and funding by external studies, we have found that companies that have embedded design thinking in their organizational culture have been able to develop a strong partnership between the intra and interdepartment as a welcome side effect of design thinking by eliminating the problem silos cause. Design thinking developed three significant components of common ground in multidisciplinary teams or department. There are a trust-based team culture, shared vocabulary, and tangible artifact. There are real practical steps that, when applied, not only keep team members off each other back when more than one silo share knowledge, focus, and control. It helps them cooperate and collaborate by losing the tower vision and view at and see things from the diverse perspective of different people or a department. Align priorities to achieve their goals with coordinated decision-making and engage with customer in a united manner. So you can see the way to strengthening intra and interdepartment partnership. First way is keep the customer at the epicenter of your effort. Know your customer and know your employees. Employees and customer are two sides of the same coin. Many organizations spend huge amount examining their customer experiences, yet very few spend the same on understanding their employee experience. The experience you provide your employee with tools and process directly impacts the experience that can then provide for your customers. As much as we are talking about breaking departmental silos and helping them partner more effectively, that is not the end objective. The customer experience satisfaction must be the heartbeat behind every action your team decide to make. Focusing on what makes your customer happy can ease some of the us versus them tension that arises because of the silos. Use the customer's experience as your benchmark to dictate the partnership between the different departments, and forming cross-functional teams will improve without having to think too hard about it. Though it is appealing to focus on sales target, campaign state, and query turnaround time, your customers are best served by aligning the different departments. When your focus shifts away from individual performance and toward that high-level goal of customer centricity, you will be speechless how well your organization will function. Then, the second way, identify. Identify common rallying point internally to define the pain-gain equation. Provide a common purpose for all departments to unit why the customer are using your product or service, and how can the employee who support them better. Do the insight gained from research tell story about why you see in revealing the pain you can find gain. By responding to this question honestly, you don't even have to deliberate how to strengthen the departmental partnership, as it just happened. The example of the question is like this. What precedences do you or your department have that are not aligned with others? Or like this, put yourself the shoes of the other silo. What will make the silo appreciate and acknowledge that your department need was a priority? Or will be like this. What information or support do you need from another silo that you are not getting on time? We move to the third way, clearly define. Clearly define roles and responsibilities of interdepartmental teams and how they will work inside and outside the silos. Just as a doctor is not only a doctor, designers are not just designer, marketers, customer experience executive, operation head, and so on are not just that either. To increase productivity and show your colleagues respect, make sure your cross-functional team members are familiar with the roles and responsibility of this team and each member and what is expected of them. From with the intent to solve a problem or explore an opportunity. As a representative of the silo, when you get back to your respective silos, they make sure that the other inter-department team members are up to speed on the perspective of other silos and what responsibilities to joint tasks for representative has. The next step is to get their buy-in and commitment to work toward the final solution and meet the expectation of the joint task force from your silo. It helps you to deliberate the ins and outs of the alternative solution internally, and you will save time as they know exactly whom to go to with an issue and make your inter-department teams more efficient. We continue to the next way, realize. Realize when the boost off and boot in. The employee, well-intentioned as he or she can be, frequently doesn't know how to act once the feedback from the end user has been handed off to the team. Can he or she make changes or continue doing what they were doing? Or will that mess up the customer experience your brand is trying to build the solution? Hence, each department must reach an understanding based on the context, set boundaries on how much will each team engage the end user, and make sure that each role in the silo fits into the provide the experience you have worked hard to create. Because of this, a well-orchestrated rhythm of communication must be agreed upon in advance, so each silo knows when outreach will help the other silo rather than detract from their effort. Next to the fifth way, reward. Reward team members who were directly not involved, as it can make all the differences. It is easy to praise cross-functional team when they reach the goal. However, if each respective silo can show their appreciation for their counterpart contribution, it reinforces the idea of a communal effort to realize the solution. A little recognition can go a long way, so the next time a new problem or opportunity needs to be addressed, it ensures the internal team respond to the call in the first place and keep the organization engine running. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but it is important to remember that we are human beings working along with other human beings. We enjoy feeling value and recognized for our effort. By acknowledging the effort and sharing the fruit of your labor with everyone who played a part, you will be amazed at their willingness to go the extra mile at your time of need, as they know the effort will be noticed and appreciated. It is just not about getting the best from the engaged team and boosting their performance, but it's about making a meaningful impact on another human being. You cannot move forward as a unified high-performing team if you don't celebrate like one. And the last way is operate. Operate under shared metric of success. The transformation process to become customer-centric and future-ready often requires your organization to revisit its brand strategy, product or service portfolio roadmap, customer segmentation, and targeting priorities, positioning platform, online-offline channel integration, pricing, and many other items. As people tend to manage what is measured and rewarded to gain clarity on what's working and what is not and track progress toward outcome, and share performance metric become a significant part of the change management process. Let me use parenthood as an analogy to explain the need for share metric. Each parent has an exclusive relationship and bonding with their child. Differing style of communication, day-to-day responsibilities, and so on. These individual roles are essential, no doubt, but they are judged as a unit and only viewed as good parent by a handful of measures. They are the amount of time that devote to their child and his or her health and happiness, how they talk and treat them, for example. Applying the same logic to how each department goes about their roles and responsibility. If the customer experience is not the key metric of success for the different department, neither will be as successful as possible, and the overall health of the organization will deteriorate. Arriving at a shared purpose is illusionary without a consensus on the way success will be measured and reported going forward. A short list of shared performance metrics which strike a right balance between the breadth and depth of visibility into current and future performance enables you to link strategy, operation, and business goal, and collect data to measure result consistently and act on it. It not only ensures that all effort remain aligned and continually improving through feedback, but it also enables the team member to hold each other accountable and learn from each other's success and failure and better coordinate effort. Then conclusion. Despite the fact that it can appear dire, there an easy fix. There is communication. Please document your internal process and procedure so that there is clarity and understanding about the company infrastructure and how it integrates for effective productive or of product or service. Then, create an internal communication plan so that everyone is on the proverbial same page at all time. Doing business is challenging enough, and making certain that the left hand knows what the right hand is doing is one way to ensure bottom line productivity and profitability. It may be grandiose to think that inter and inter-department teams will ever have a completely flawless partnership. This diverse group will always have different daily responsibilities and priorities, and their character traits that won't always align in picture-perfect harmony. However, by embedding design thinking into your organization strategy, breaks the departmental silos and form high-performing teams.